Hello everyone. I guess I'll start now. So, good afternoon everyone. Thank you for attending. So today I'll be sharing a summary of my mobile internship experience today. So a little about me. Currently, I'm a year 3 computer science student at NUS. Yeah. So here's an overview of the presentation today. I'll be going through 3 different sections. So firstly, I'll start by sharing the product features that I worked on. Next, I'll share my contribution to platformizing mobile efforts. And lastly, I will conclude by sharing some of my personal reflections. So let's begin with the product features. One of the earlier projects that I worked on was to suspend withdrawals for non-verified customers. So in this project, I worked with Flexsmith API and Retool to build a UI for the ops personnel to block non-verified customers from withdrawals. Here is a short video demonstration of the project. The main idea here is to use a feature flag to control the UI behavior. So each user is tagged with an operation withdraw flag, and this flag will either have a true or false value. So for example, the operation withdraw flag will have the value false for a non-verified customer. So upon checking for this Boolean value, the UI will be rendered accordingly to show a grayed out withdrawal button, and it will also throw a toast message asking the user to contact the support. Yeah. So moving on. I've also worked on simple UI features like creating the rewards dashboard banner. So feature flags are also being used here to control which banner different users will see. So from the 2 product features I've shared earlier, I saw how feature flags is a very powerful service in controlling the UI, adding variants, and also toggling flags for different user segments. After gaining some experience with Flutter development through simple UI tickets, I had the opportunity to implement the Endow story model view. This widget aims to introduce an Instagram story reel to the mobile applications. To achieve this, I explored existing packages and looked at which is well-reviewed and easy to integrate. So easy to integrate here means how customized the features available are. For example, if you can customize the color and timing, etc. So after deciding on the package comes the implementation. I was able to use the package and also extend the class to make it more flexible for our use cases. So for example, having a call to action button and also a tooltip button to redirect users to view Endow's web articles. And here's the final product. The Endow story model is currently being used for post-onboarding experience and also the SRS educational content reels. Next, I've also helped with wrapping widgets with GA4 tracking methods that was implemented by Jayden. So this can be considered my very first encounter with event tracking. And I saw how trackers can be implemented in the front end. And yeah, so through this experience, it gave me insights into how analytics to like J can be used to track user behavior and engagement. Yeah. Next, I have had the opportunity to work on a bug fix ticket where I was involved in trying to reproduce the bug and also trying to resolve it. So to provide some context, 2 ready to be reviewed customers were able to call the B3 Go DIY API. And this is a strange behavior as technically the customer can only make this call after onboarding is complete. So after trying to reproduce this error, I discovered that it is due to the invest call to action button in the rewards page. Yeah, moving to the next section, platformizing mobile team efforts. So I contributed to the mobile team storybook by creating the respective storybook components for the various UI components that the mobile application uses, building upon the mobile storybook platform that was already set up by Chat. I'm grateful for this experience as I got to see how Storybook is a great design system and UI component quality control tool. It also allowed me to write code and also test out the new components in isolation without having to go through the build process. This is extremely useful as I was able to test the UI on different screens as well. So, yeah. So next, I also work on the Flexsmith call to edge migration efforts. So from this experience, I kind of learned of how learn to communicate with different stakeholders. For example, reviewing the migration plan with TNE, sharing the possible breaking changes, and how to work around it. Also liaising with Footer to find out more about what the Flexsmith APIs that is being used on the web application, and also sharing the migration timeline. So here's a quick snapshot of my documentation for the testing process for the existing feature flags and experiments to ensure the correct behavior. So upon doing the regression testing for the flagsmith migration, I found it tedious to identify which feature flags are tagged to the user, as there are many things going on in the logger. So this brings me to my next task. So I realized we could perhaps add an enhancement to the debug screen, displaying the feature flag details to easily identify what flags or values are tagged to this user. Yeah, also perhaps in the future, we can also further improve this by allowing developers to change the feature flag values on the debug screen instead of doing it on the Flagsmith UI. Finally, to conclude, I'd like to share my 3 biggest takeaways from my mobile internship experience. Firstly, the first takeaway would be the valuable software development processes and practices. I've always wanted to pick up mobile development, and I'm glad I was able to do so by learning Flutter here. Next, exposure to coding or development practices like Git workflow, commit messages, and Jira. So initially, I found it super cool that Jira was so well integrated in Bitbucket and also like the commit messages, etc. Next, learning rebase. Initially, I was really afraid of rebasing, especially when there are merge conflicts. It was something new to me, and I'm thankful for Jaden for being patient and also guiding me through my first few PRs. Another important value I picked up from my peers was ownership. I think throughout this internship, I saw how each individual has a strong sense of ownership in their work. This is inspiring for me, and it is something I would like to develop further. Then, okay, so the next takeaway is communication. I learned to not only work within the mobile team, but also with other stakeholders. For example, working with product managers and designers to discuss the business requirements and so the intended behavior. I've also learned to seek help or clarification when in doubt or when, yeah. And lastly, documentation. I saw the value of writing a tech spec. It helped me to better plan and execute my work. It also allowed me to share and review my ideas easily. Overall, I can see the skills that I picked up here can be easily transferred or applied to other team projects, and I'm really grateful for this enriching experience. But here are 2 things that I wish I could have done differently or have been more proactive in changing. Firstly, to be louder. I felt I could have been more vocal and interacted with more people around me or in the engineering department. This is still a work in progress of mine, and I hope over time things will change for me. Another point would be, I think I would prefer to work full-time compared to working part-time. So this is because I feel there are still many things that I would like to learn, and yeah, I wish I had more time to do so. Yeah. Finally, to conclude, I would like to thank the mobile team for your patience and guidance that you have given me during this internship. So Tenny for giving me this opportunity to join and contribute to the mobile team. Zhao for helping and guiding me with difficult tasks. Jack for guiding me through the DLS system and storybook development. Jaden for being a great buddy and someone who I can easily approach. And Zheng for giving me career and life talks. Yeah. And lastly, thank you for everyone I worked with in the last 8 months. It was a fruitful experience, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. So thank you for taking the time to join this sharing today. And yeah, feel free to connect with me. Thank you.
Thanks, Erwin.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Erwin.
Erwin.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Erwin.
Yeah. Any questions?
Thanks, Sabine.
Was it
All
8
the
months
best.
or 6 months? Because I saw your slide was August to now.
Oh, like 8 months, because I've been in Adawas for 8 months since, yeah, because previously I was in the QA team.
Oh, okay. So your slide was saying mobile team. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Owen, for all your contribution. Actually, we treated you as a full-time employee instead of just an intern. So hope you learned a lot. And yeah, also very thankful for your meaningful contribution. So I think Joe today also joined this sharing session. So yeah, you previously also worked for QA team for the meaningful QA automation testing work. All the best to your Canada exchange and your future career.
Thank you. Yeah. And so I created a Telegram channel. So so yeah, we're going to NOC. So yeah, feel free to join if you want to see updates. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's all from me for today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Erwin.
Thank you.
Thank you.